Installing and tying in a new Peep sight is super simple. Let me show you. Welcome back to Knocked Up Outdoors How-To Series, Complete Bow Setup. In this video, I am going to teach you guys how to set and tie off a Peep sight. If you guys are enjoying this content and this video is helpful to you, make sure you hit that like button, ring that bell, and smash that subscribe button. It means a lot to me, that way you don't miss out on any future content. What you'll need in order to be successful and accomplish this is going to be some serving string, a knife, lighter, a tape possibly, a Sharpie possibly, and of course your Peep. Now recommended items, the Sharpie and the tape, and the bow press and the ultimate limb brackets. Those are also going to be recommended. The last thing on the list that is recommended is the string splitter. I said it was a recommendation because you don't really need it as long as you have all these other things, but it makes your life a heck of a lot easier. So I would suggest that you get one. You don't have to press your bow if you have a string splitter, but again, it makes your life easier. Get the right tools, do it correctly. So first things first, what you're going to need to do, if you're setting up a bow and changing the Peep sight because you want a different aperture or you want it hooded or something like that, the first thing you're going to want to do before removing your old Peep sight is you're going to want to mark with a Sharpie the location of your Peep sight. That way when you take out that one, you know exactly where the new one has to go, and you shouldn't run into any problems when it comes to your knock point and seeing your sight correctly. If you're not doing that and you're setting it up from scratch, grab your tape measure. You want to come from the middle of your knock point up about 5 or 6 inches. It just kind of depends. I like to just kind of split the difference. So somewhere right in here is where my Peep needs to go. You will be able to adjust that, and you're going to once you get it set in there. But in this video, I won't go over that. I'm just going to go over installing and tying off the Peep sight. Now that you have the bow pressed together, you're going to want to use your string splitter right where you want to put your Peep. And you're going to want to go, if you have a dual colored string, it works a lot easier because you know exactly where you need to go. If you have a solid color, you have to work at it a little bit more to know the exact split of the two strings. It makes a difference whenever you're coming down to Peep twist and stuff like that in order to get that done correctly. It looks pretty good there. If you have a dual colored string, it makes it way easier because you just split the colors and that's where you put your Peep. So now that I know where my Peep is, I just take this splitter, turn it sideways, pops it wide open for me, and it sets right on the string. And it's perfect. The next step in this is to set your Peep. Now, setting the Peep correctly means putting it in there. It comes with little grooves where you set your Peep up perfectly, aligning to the string, which is super nice because it's just going to set right in there for you. What you need to be careful of, though, is setting it backwards. When you're installing this, you should have the angle of your Peep to where when the string is down, it should be looking that direction. So right now, if I were to draw a line, let me grab an arrow for demonstration purposes. If this arrow were to fit into my Peep, it should do this right here. If it does this, you put it in backwards. So if this arrow could go through this Peep sight, that is exactly how it should be. So there's going to be 2 grooves on either side of your Peep, regardless of which Peep you buy. And what you're going to want to do is align the string split on both of those sides. Once it's in there, you don't have to touch it in order to hold it. You can let your string splitter down. Put this Peep where your Sharpie mark was, slide it up or down in the string. And once you got it there, you can go ahead and let your bow down. Before we get into tying this, is take this out. You're going to want to draw the string back, get to your nice knocking point, right? And look through that peep naturally. If that peep needs to slide up or down in order to correspond to where your sight that you've already taken care of and leveled correctly is, then let back down, move your sight up. If you have somebody helping you, it's a lot easier because then they can just reach over and slide it up or down so you're good. But make sure you got that solid knocking point. Slide this peep up or down into where you're comfortable. Once you've done that, come back and see me. All right, welcome back. Now that you've figured out where your peep needs to go, I can teach you how to tie it in. Let me move you a little bit closer. Let's chit chat about tying it in. Super simple process. Get yourself about a foot and a half of serving string. Leave, I don't know, let's say 2 inches on your tag. Slide it up and snug it in the middle of that string. All right, lay this over here. And you want to begin to serve, just like you would like a center serving, around your string. And I like to go with the rule of 8. The rule of 8 here. So making sure it's super tight every time you go. We're going to wrap 8 times. 8. And we pick up the tag end of our string, lay it back over the other way, and continue to go down, and we wrap 8 more times. Once you've done 8, you're on the back side of your string here. You're going to come up, back around, and then through the opening. 1, 3 or 4 times, somewhere in there. Now what you want to do, you've got this end snugged all the way around. So now you want to continue to, now you want to go around your sight. 1, 2, about 3 times. 3 times. And then you want to take this end here so that way you get a nice pretty knot. Go down through the bottom side and then out. And it's going to create this little, make sure your string stays where it's supposed to. It's going to create this little hitch. You snug up next to the sight and that way you're good. And then you just continue to go down. So we go down 1, 2, 3, and 4. What we want to do here is we're just going to work backwards. So we're going to start here and we are going to tie off 1 half hitch just to start it off. Nice and simple. About the same distance away that we are on the top. So nice and tight. And then 1, and then we go around 8 times. So 3, 4, make sure those are all nice and snug up on your string, like so. And then what we do is we come around the back side of the string, put this tag end over, and we begin to loop back through the hole we just created. Just a few times. And cinch that up. And there you have it. Peep sight tied in, nice and straight, taken care of. Last thing we need to do is pull on these tag ends real tight. Make sure we're good to go. Just like always, cutting away from your string, leave about a ½ inch. Cutting away from your string, leave about a ½ inch. And we burn. All the way down and press into the string. That way it stays nice and snug. Same thing for the bottom. All the way down. Press into the string so it stays nice and snug. Now that Peep is not going anywhere. There you have it, simple as that. Installing and tying off a Peep. You might have to move this down, move this around, especially with new strings. Put a few hundred arrows through it. If you get a little twist out of your string, you'll have to cut that out and then retie it just how I taught you there. But I mean, that's in there ready to rock and roll. And at this point, you're ready to go out to the range. We need to paper tune and we need to sight our sight in. But you have a working bow ready to fling some arrows at this point. So congratulations if you made it this far. If you guys have any questions for me, make sure to leave them below in the comments. And as always, stay knocked up.